Today we are continuing on working in the altered book, and as you know, I'm just filming these back to back. So we just finished in YouTube land. We just finished doing this spread here and then working on these pages that had the tags that flip independently of one another. Super cool. And then while I was off camera, I added the pages with the lines. So that was a lot of fun. I have picked out the pages for our center spread. It'd be nice to get rid of this tab, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that just be nice? Get that gone. I'm tired of looking at it. Also, we're just making progress. And the sooner we get all of this done, then the sooner we can move to the fun stuff. Correct? Correct. All right. Well, hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marcy and I offer up videos that provide inspiration and encouragement to the junk journal and paper crafting communities. So go ahead and get yourself comfy. Get yourself a snack and a drink, your comfy chair, your cozy blankie, or if you'd rather craft along, get your stuff together, get your supplies and everything, and I'll meet you right back here at the craft table right after this. Okay, so while you guys are watching this, I should be in beautiful Scotland right about now. Not sure what I'm doing. It's kind of a loose itinerary. Maybe in Glasgow, maybe not. I probably shouldn't announce that on camera. Hi, I'm out of the country. Here's my name, address, and personal banking information in case you wanna, in case there's any creepers out there that wanna hack into my life. No. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, is it? Okay, so this is what I'm using for the center spread, is this page here. And I liked it because, you know, he was a worship pastor, so it's a praise and worship music themed masculine journal, as if we, you know, couldn't just have one, couldn't just have one kind of theme. No, I have to have three. It's just how I roll. I don't know why. I've noticed that though. I usually incorporate several things. So I thought it was very appropriate to have Jesus right in the middle of our journal, the middle of everything that we're working on. And so it's kind of symbolic as well. Yeah, we should be enjoying ourselves, tootling around central Scotland, I guess. So some fun facts about Glasgow, which I didn't know. It is obviously one of the major cities in Scotland, and it harbors roughly 1/3 of the country's population. Why? We don't know. Well, actually we do know. Because historically, you know, it's built on a riverway, and it was a center of trade and everything, and import, export. So naturally people settled there because it was kind of where everything happened, right? So that's that. I know that they are very often teased because apparently the accent from Glasgow, if you are from there, is unintelligible even to other Scotsmen. So that's kind of a standard joke. Did any of you guys see, what was the Disney movie? Is it Brave? Brave, right? Anyway, it came out a few years back. It was hilarious, but even they, in that show, they make fun of the guy that they can't understand. They're all, every time he talks, they all just look at each other, confused. And I was like, they're making fun of Glasgow. So we're hoping to see some really, really cool stuff. Museums and art galleries and good food and playing with my brother and his family, and yeah. But meanwhile, here at home, rainy, rainy, rainy. I know I keep harping on the rain, and it's really, truly, it is so unusual. I was so concerned, not concerned, but just kind of aware of the fact that typically this time of year, we're hitting 80, you know, we're getting into the 80-degree mark and maybe slightly higher. Towards the end of June, it's definitely a lot warmer, and that we were going to have about a 30-degree temperature variance between us and Scotland, and So I was trying to figure out how to pack for that, how to be sure that I got the right stuff. Well, the weather has been so nice and helping me out and pretending like we actually live there already. We're actually there. That I'm wearing essentially what I would wear on my trip. So there's not going to be a big shock with the temperature change and stuff. We're not going to go from really hot to really cold and back to really hot. We'll just go from cool to probably back here to hot-ish, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what to expect in July. I have to get out the Farmer's Almanac and figure that out. So I know this is what we want to put for the middle. And I'm just going to do it all connected like one piece here because I think that looks really nice when you do that. And then I want to put back here, I want to put this. And is that even going to show with the crosses? Is it going to show enough of the cross is the question. Question of the day. I feel like that would show more of the cross. And again, I know you guys have heard me say this in the last 2 videos, but if you're doing this for the first time like me, don't glue these together until you've decorated the back page. Super inconvenient otherwise. How far down do I want to go? Yeah, I just feel like the top of that page doesn't show the crosses very well. I find it a little bit easier to just kind of use the ripping method. Eyeball, make some creases. Easier than the marks, although you know I've been going back and forth to do both. Right here, let's just mark that on that side. I'm just trying to figure out how to make it a nice big square so that when I tear it in half, theoretically, I should get each side of this, but that might not work because it's directional. So let's actually measure, huh? About 4 3/4 by 5. And I think I figured out, remember how I wanted to do another page that would angle like this? Well, I think I may have figured that out, but I can't show you right now because I don't have the stuff. Which changes my whole plan, actually, doesn't it? Okay, well, I'm gonna just keep going. We'll deal with it when we get there. We'll deal with it later. Okay, 4 3/4. Yep, spot on. What did I say? 5 and roughly 5. Actually 4 3/4 because it's a square. Hello. 4 3/4 by 4 3/4 makes a square. Right. Told you math wasn't my best strong suit. Money math, cooking math, sewing math. I can do that. 1 2 3 4. Is that just 1 whole inch? 1 2 3 4 and 3/4. Yeah, money math, cooking math, and sewing math. Cooking and sewing are kind of the same math, but I can do those pretty well. And music. Music is math-ish, apparently. Okay, I'm going to fold this in half like this. What I'm trying to do in my oh so lazy way is to measure once and cut, do both cuts at the same time. Really looking forward to when we can work on the tags and embellishments, get the pages looking all pretty. Oh, it's gonna be the best part. So, continuing on with my discussion of rain, it's so fascinating. Yeah, my plants are growing like there's no tomorrow, like I've never seen them grow before. And I mean, I have a hollyhock in the backyard. I think I just planted it last year, so this is really its first big year, and I swear it grew a foot just overnight. It's It's getting some big, beautiful blossoms. They're ready to bloom. This is so exciting. But everything is just luscious. So beautiful. My roses are huge. You know, I mean, roses will grow pretty much anywhere, but how beautiful they can get is a whole nother ball of wax, right? So, sorry, I'm scrolling over here because I'm trying to find, there we go. I was trying to find my spot and figure out what I was talking about. But my roses are actually big, beautiful. That probably doesn't show up. They're easily 3.5, almost 4 inches, and usually they're a lot smaller. So you can tell that they're loving the rain, temperate weather, temperate temperatures. Just, it's looking like a Garden of Eden back there. And we have a lawn guy this year. Never had a lawn guy before. I really like him. He's making our grass look amazing. Let's see, so it's the outside. Making the grass and doing some trimming and just looking really pretty out there. The only downside to all this rain is I can't sit on my patio furniture. Every time I go out, I have to double check so I don't get a wet seat. That's been a little bit of a bummer. It is keeping whatever neighborhood cat has started roaming our neighborhood. Kind of annoyed with this little guy. But he thinks that I put my flower beds out there for him. And he's obviously roaming through at night, but the rain keeps him out of there. But when it's not raining, I have seen a couple of suspicious looking spots where it's been scratched up, and I haven't seen poop in my flower beds, but I think maybe he has gone potty a few times. So if you have any tips on how to keep cats out of your garden beds, I would be all ears. I'd love to hear them because I need some serious cat repellent out there, and obviously not bothered by the fact that we have a dog. Clearly not, or it wouldn't keep doing it. Wouldn't keep showing up. It's also like sometimes in the summer it gets really hot here, and I like to just kind of crack the garage so it gets air circulation through there, and then that helps our bedroom stay cooler at night. But anymore, you never know who's got a cat, and it seems like they come and go anyway. But when I do that, kitty cats come and make themselves at home in my garage and pee on everything. They mark it, and it stinks like cat in my garage. I used to really like cats, but I'm kind of gotten over them lately, especially after last year when we helped my daughter move, and those people had just let cats have the run of the place. It was so gross in there, and it just reeked. Ugh. And then they left the nasty kitty litter. They spilled the kitty litter, and apparently then like it got wet somehow, and the whole basement, I mean, I had to go over that thing like 6 times trying to get it aired out and smelling fresh so it didn't smell like cat anymore, and we finally got it. So I'm going to recommend, if any of you are struggling with nasty smells that you just can't get rid of, Odoban, O-D-O-B-A-N, and after I tried pretty much everything else, I saw it for $1 at Home Depot and tried it, and it cleared out all the stink. It was amazing. And it smells kind of like little fresh baby powder. It smells good. But it eliminates the odor. It doesn't just cover it up, it gets rid of it. So this is what we're gonna have. But yeah, please tell me, seriously, I'm getting annoyed. Annoyed with the cat who doesn't know to mind its own business. Because that's not how cats are wired, is it? It needs to just stay out of my garden and we'll be friends. Don't pee on the food that I need to eat. Ugh, just makes me mad. It makes me more mad because I can't ever catch the dumb thing. If I could catch it, you know, you could deter it a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, reliable cat repellent tips would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, what else we got to chat about? I don't know. I'm sure we'll think of something here in a minute. Let's see, what am I trying to do? glue. I think gluing is the next best thing. Doesn't that look pretty? Yeah. Hold on just a second. I'll show you what I was going to do. I kind of had yesterday a day where my brain just wanted a vacation, so I was just doing some creative playing around and making stuff that wasn't specifically related to this book. But I took a bunch of the book pages, you know, that we had pulled out, and I made pockets and journal cards and stuff. I thought perhaps this might be the solution, is just to have these. I might need to make some that are smaller based on this right here. But I have plenty of pages, but I could go and make one that's slightly smaller so it doesn't come over as far. But how would that would look good, right? And then we could still decorate right here. So that's my thought. That is the solution I came up with. I think that'll look cool. Alrighty, let's glue. So I was going to talk last time about shows that we're watching. I think I only mentioned, well, the Downton Abbey movie, which I haven't gotten to yet. And that might be a nice way to just give my brain a break. And The Lincoln Lawyer, but I don't know. When I have those marathon days where I'm just working and kind of playing in the craft room, I go through a lot of stuff. So it's either going to be YouTube videos that I have in my watch later. Sometimes not if they're crafting, but the ones where they're giving me advice or information, I can turn those on and it just absorb the information while I work, and then I can get through quite a few and get them out of my watch later list. I'm just smoothing this. I'm holding the book up so I can keep that crease in the center. Smoothing outward. Can you tell? Yeah, you can. Give him the press. Okay. So yeah, I've been going through a lot of content. So what I watched The Kindness of Strangers, which was I think just a movie, right? But that was really good. This lady that's essentially homeless with her boys, and it's kind of an interesting play on the title, because initially you're just thinking, oh yeah, it's just about how do people help each other out or being kind to those in need, but then there's another meaning that comes out in the movie about what they mean. And so it's kind of cute. It was actually really cute. Cute's not a great descriptive word, but it was enjoyable. It had more depth of content than I was expecting. And it was not as deep and dark as I thought it might potentially be. See, I didn't get quite over there, but we're going to be happy with this. We're going to do that. Ta-da! Problem solved. We are nothing if not problem solvers on this channel, right? Let's see what else. Tom and I together on PBS have been watching, we watched this first season called Annika. Now, I don't know if you guys remember from a few months ago when I was telling you about the show Unforgotten, and it has Nicola Walker in it. Well, this must be what she did after that show, because she's in this show. It's a new one, and it's kind of quirky and kind of fun. I don't remember if I talked about this a couple of weeks ago or not. I don't think so. Maybe I thought about it. Sometimes I'm like thinking about what to say, you know, when I'm not on camera, and I will kind of come up with how I want to say things, but then I don't actually say them, so that I can't remember, did we actually talk about that, or did I just kind of think about that and then not ever say it? Yeah, it's a problem. Ordinary Joe, I finished up the other day on Hulu. That one's on Hulu. We'd started it. Tom wasn't really into it, but it's about this guy, and essentially has 3 different directions after he graduates from college. 3 different directions to head. and maybe how his life might have turned out based on which option he chooses. And so they kind of take you through all the scenarios. It's a little confusing keeping up with which Joe is which, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you finally figure out, based on whether he has beard or glasses, which Joe he is. Yes, I finally watched, I think I'm done with that whole one, or maybe I thought I was done. There was a spot right in the middle where it acts like it's the end of the series, but apparently it wasn't. Excuse me, I'm gonna take a drink. Yeah, so, I mean, it really felt like a wrap up, and then I went in to look at the rest of the episodes, and I was like, oh, it's only halfway through. Okay, there is a gap up here, but I'm afraid that if I push on it too much, I don't think I can move the paper into there very well. And if I push on it too much, it's gonna break, I think. I don't think it's gonna keep moving. I think it's done. I think my paper is finished, so I don't know if that will create a problem down the road or not. Let's just fold it. Let's just close it for a minute. Okay, under Ordinary Joe, I'm catching up on my Outlander watching. So I think I've mentioned before, I like to kind of back up and make a running start into my shows that I watch when they have continued seasons, so I can reacquaint myself with the storyline. So I just rewatched season 4. I do not have Starz network, so I have to wait for them to come out to either be available on Hulu or on Netflix. So I rewatched season 4, and now I'm just starting season 5, which I hope to have finished before I leave. Yeah, so catching up on that. Now all of my thoughts have Scottish accents to them. Of course they do. It's very musical, very lilting, and just like I could not imitate it if you tried to pay me to imitate it, but I hear it in my head like people are speaking it. So I feel like I should be able to speak with a Scottish accent. It's not easy. Basically take all the 5 vowel sounds and trade them out with each other. And then if you get them in the right order, you'll sound like you're from Scotland. Yeah, so where you have one vowel sound in our English, it might sound completely different in Scottish English. So it's kind of funny. Now I wanted to decorate out on either side. Well, see, now I didn't mark the center, and now I can't find it. Where are you? There it is. I wanted to work out from either direction. Wait, okay. Pocket there, pocket there. Okay, so all right. So I've double checked. After much deliberation, I think I'm going to try to use this scheme right here because I don't have those colors back here. So let me check my scraps first. Yeah, so have you guys had any questions about this process? Anything that's bugging you? Maybe it seems unclear, clear as mud. Aha, cookie. Alrighty. I think I want this down below and like this showing up above. You only get the top edge of that key, which is a big time bummer. I have another thought about that though. My other thought is, see, I have this page and I haven't used it yet, but if I use a little bit at the top of this, that looks pretty cool, then I can use the rest of it on a spread that hasn't been done yet towards the front of the book. That would be cool. That has kind of a scrappy collage look to it, doesn't it? Look at this. I'm going to bring this up a little bit so you can all zoom in and take a look at it. That'd be a really cool way to do a page, wouldn't it? Take forever. But they're just all like equal size squares, torn edges, layer upon layer. Wow. That would be interesting to try sometime when we have hours on end with which to which to waste. Okay, you could tell I was inking something there. Okay, so if I tear off this edge here, look, it's already marked. How handy was that? And I'm really having trouble not getting too close to the crease. I get too close to the crease. I guess it's like living on the edge, but not. Okay, so if you like that, this was one that I thrifted, but here's your information on it. Carolee's Creations. I don't know how old this is. Oh look, and she even puts a little line for the 8.5 by 11 cut. How handy was that? Doesn't say what year, so we're on our own with that, but it has a bunch of matches, and it's called Farmer's Snippets, which you can't even tell that's farmish, so we're in good shape. And this might need to be a little bit deeper, we'll see. Okay. Yeah, you really can't tell that had a farm theme, so guess it's good we're using it here then. I like to line it up on my mat just so I can tell that I'm tearing straight. Apologies if that is a repetition of something I've said in a previous video. On the other hand, good things bear repeating. So, okay. I'll do it this way. It really is easier to hold down the tiny side and tear from the big side. See how easy that is? I wish I would follow my own advice sometimes. So, okay, just out of curiosity, if I'm going to use a scrap roughly that size, will it work? And the answer, dear friends, is yes. Just testing it out, see if it still works. That size. Okay. So what I have to do, I'm going to tear the height first, and then the sides. And hopefully it lines up with something on my mat. Hold on. Okay, now I can use that on another part of the book. So we're going to, oh, doing it again. Now I'm tearing from the small side. Really got to follow my own advice here. Also, I'm using my left hand to tear. That's an unusual situation. That's not my normal way to do it. Okay. Ta-da! That's cute. It's a cute little scrap, isn't it? Maybe we'll make a scrappy booklet or something. We're gonna have lots of cool scraps. Okay, which way is up? This way is up. Yep. We should do this one first. Oh, you gotta ink it first. And I'm gonna use the walnut stain ink because it's a little bit darker. And it just the browns in these, this is a little bit darker. I just think it'll look nicer. And I don't need to do the straight edge because that's going down inside. And then also because this is so dark, the vintage photo wouldn't even do anything. You wouldn't even know that you'd used it. So. Okay. got going on? Trying to think what I can do that's interesting, and I don't know. Just want to get all the gluing done. Give you guys a break from all those long videos, huh? I have some tags and things that I want to do next. I made master boards out of a bunch of old music pages, which again, I'm going to promote the music pages in my shop, which you can't get right now because my shop does not have physical items, only digital in it at the moment. However, when I return, you are more than welcome to come help yourself to some of those music packs. I've got music packs, and I had stacks, like combos of music books, but they're just, nothing is happening. They're not selling, so I have not brought those. I won't be bringing them back up unless people actually request, but I honestly don't know what to do with all that music. Even the Creative Reuse store doesn't want it. He said, nobody's buying music. I'm like, you're telling me. I've got tons of it. I know crafters are using it, but I don't know where they're all getting it from. I mean, the hymnals did really well, but all these other books that are just music, and maybe I divided them up too much. Maybe I should just sell it by the pound or something. I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. But anyway, I do have the music packs of individual pages. I've already ripped them out of books, and so you get a nice variety. Those will be back in there when I get back. Okay. So I made a bunch of master boards out of those kinds of sheets, and then I have them ready so we can cut them into tags and journal cards and decorate them up together. I've been waiting and waiting. It was actually a really nice one of these rainy days that we've been having. It was a really nice project to just sit, and I covered up like some old scrapbook papers I didn't want, and excuse me, I gotta adjust my screen there. I kind of covered up scrapbook papers that I did not find appealing, and just basically used up a bunch of pieces of music. It felt really good, and because then I can cut them apart, and I had this whole project in mind, you know. So I knew I was going to want to make music themed journal cards. Oops, that goes that way. There, that looks nice. Okay. And on this side, so question, if I decide to collage over here, should I collage over here? I could collage the back of it, because then I have the other collage page, which we could do those together. And just leave this solid. That seems like a good plan, doesn't it? Okay, so those are the collage pages right there. Put my little sticky note out. That's how I'm going to mark it, so I can tell what I'm looking at. There's the other ones back here. And okay. So that's just one single page. So would I want to collage over onto the pocket? I don't feel like I do. So I want to cover the side of the pocket. Okay, collage, collage. Collage, collage. So what do we want to cover this with? So since we already put that on this side with this paper, we don't want that here. And what do I have in the front then that needs to be decorated? I did do some hopping around. I think I said that last time, because just kind of where I felt like I knew for sure I wanted something, that's where I put it first, and then I'm hopping around filling in the gaps that are left. So, okay, so I have this and this. I think this would be nice up against there. Not too pale and not too dark. And then collage work there. Okay. And then whatever I put on this side, let's see, where's my, I have this. Let me show you what I have. Gracious, I had more than I was thinking I had. Ooh, I have some that looks like bricks too. Bricks would be kind of cool. I'm not sure it's quite in keeping. Okay, so I have this dark one. This has the Rejoice, Salvation, Jesus, Wisdom, Hope. And then I have it also here in gold. Haven't used those yet. And I have this really pretty one. I have this. I have used this, right, though. Is that the same? No, I've used this version of, they're not quite the same pattern, are they? No, okay. So I haven't used this in any form or fashion, I don't think. Then I have this that looks kind of quilted. This really says like medieval Shakespeare or the Medicis or something to me. I don't know why. This plain one, and I have one also in kind of a brownie gold that matches that. So let me see what my surrounding colors are, because I don't want to repeat too soon, you know? I want it to be interesting when you look through. So there's the gold there. And I don't think these up against the green would be a super great contrast. And then there's kind of a browny gold there. Okay, so I think gold is out. And I don't want the green, so that leaves burgundy. So I've got this plummy color here. I've got this kind of a rusty reddish burgundy color here. So is that too soon to have burgundy again, do you think? Oh, there's one there. Okay, no. I'm gonna say no. Okay, so let's do this cool looking one there. Okay, wow, good. You guys are good advisors. Let's see. Waste not, want not. So let's go this way. Gonna mark it there. Gonna mark down and around like that. And we're gonna mark it like right there. The other one, did I do ripping the page or did I do straight edge on those other pocket pages? I feel like a straight edge helps it line up better. No, I can't find one. Nope, that's ripped. That one's not done yet. Didn't I have another one over here? Yep. That one's ripped. That one's ripped. Okay. Well, ripped it is then. I set that aside. And the glue is in the way. Oh, that looks really crooked. Oh gosh. Really? It is really crooked. It's also not tall enough. Oh, crumb. Try again. I don't know how that happened, but I can hazard a few guesses. How tall is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4. Okay, well that's kind of our standard measurement. 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4. And what did you do? 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4 1/2. Wow, that's like a 1/4 inch off. Goodbye. I don't want to get confused by it. Oy vey. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4. Maybe that's what happened. This is harder to tear than one would think. Let's stick it in there. Make a cool tag background though, wouldn't it? That's what I get for measuring upside down and backward. All right. What are you all doing for the summer? What's everybody's summer plans? Who all has kids still at home? Anybody? I think some of you do. Yeah. Let's see, I want to... Sorry, can you tell what I'm doing? Probably not. I'm just going to town all by myself over here. Okay, I think... Okay, so like this. And here we go. And getting our oval punch. And that looks kind of off center, but you know, I could have punched that page off center, so I'm going to go down just a little bit lower than my line. And because it's thin paper, it's all by itself. It doesn't punch all the way through in the middle, so we're going to carefully remove that. Trim it up with scissors, which is okay because I kind of have to widen this anyway by hand a little bit. It's like it doesn't quite come out wide enough, obviously, because it's an oval. There. There's that. Now, see, when we line it up, ta-da! It still looks like it's close to the edge there. I feel like my measuring abilities have suddenly, I don't know. The last few I've done, they've just really been off. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's ink it and get on with our lives. Let's see. So, yeah, I don't know what else to chat about right now. Dinner, we're having leftovers tonight since I'm trying to not focus on housework and food. Yeah, that's one thing. I gotta get caught up on some mega housework before we go because I've been letting it slide so I can just get this done because I want to work on this. I mean, I like a clean environment, but that doesn't mean I want to do it all the time, right? There are two of us in this house. I'm just going to say that kind of quietly, but it's true. It doesn't, there's two of us that live here. It doesn't, all the work doesn't belong to one person's job, right? It's not all in my laundry basket. Although my laundry basket is my responsibility because I don't really let my husband do laundry. If he does laundry, I don't let him do mine. Had too many mistakes. Too many accidents with the laundry have happened over time. So if he wants to do a load, he can only do his stuff. But yeah, it's what my daughter always says, well, it's not in my laundry basket, so I don't need to worry about it. Figuratively speaking, right? If it's a task that needs to be done, whose job is it to worry about that? I think when you're parents, you know, you get so used to, you're trying to really model for your kids how to be responsible and remind them to do stuff all the time, but you end up taking ownership of the responsibility, whereas it's really the kid's responsibility. It's like homework, getting to school on time, coming home on time, those kinds of things. It's really not up to us. It's up to the kid, so it's a fine line. But then after your kids grow up, it's kind of hard to let go of that sometimes, right? Say, oh, well, that's not mine to worry about. So just have to remind yourself of your college days when you literally didn't care about anybody else's business but yours. It was great. It was a great way to live. When you weren't responsible for other human beings. It was terrific. see. So on this side, that would have been a good time to make a template. Okay, so taking what we know from the other one, 4 3/4. But if I tear off one edge, which I need to do first, is this directional? Not really. Okay, 4 3/4, tearing off. I don't know if I'll get this done before the timer beeps. But if we don't, just know I'm going to finish this up off camera, and then next time we'll work on tags and things. So yeah, dinner. I'm having leftovers. Trying to figure out what you can make for dinner that... Well, I'm trying to get out of the idea of I need to make something for dinner. I just want to have elements in the fridge that you can just eat without it necessarily having to be all put together to form an actual meal, if that makes sense. Because it's literally the two of us, and sometimes he's working and sometimes I'm doing this, but I mean, if I just know there's food in the fridge to eat that can just be eaten as it is without being prepared, that might actually be the better way to go, don't you think? So yeah, but this is where I get stuck, because I don't know what those foods should be. What should those foods be if I'm just going to have stuff in the fridge that we can both eat whenever we want? Okay, 4 3/4 is there. Then what might those foods actually be? Because, I mean, I'm not rich enough to hire a personal chef, so some amount of that is up to me, like the grocery shopping, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4. Okay, now I'm just jabbering. So I'm going to tear this off here. We're going to call it a video. Do our inspirational thought for the day. So yeah, take a swing on by my shop and see if there's anything that interests you in the way of my digitals and my words that I have, that I've kind of come up with to use as labels and things in your journals. I will be using some. I'm going to be using the worship flashcards in here. And I need to print those off before I run out of ink. And what else? Yeah, I'm probably going to use some of my little words labels too. So those are fun. And yeah, just send me some love across the ocean. Now, that is one of the hazards of filming ahead. You run out of things to talk about. I started out with a ton of things to talk about, but after 2 videos, you kind of run out. Yeah. Draw this. Punch this. I love racing the clock, don't you? Trying to think if there's anything else I need to remind you of while I'm going. Tell you what, while I work, I will read to you today's inspirational thought. Last week we read from Psalm 100. Today we're going to read from Psalm 147, verses 1 and 7, because it's a praise and worship book, and because these are really good psalms, which we just don't focus enough on them, I don't think. Okay, so it says Psalm 147:1, praise the Lord, for it is good to sing praises to our God, for it is pleasant, and a song of praise is fitting. Ooh, a song of praise is fitting. That is true. It's not something we think about, though, is it? Very often. And verse 7 says, sing to the Lord with thanksgiving. Make melody to our God on the lyre. So we can just say, make melody with our instruments, our guitars, our harps, pianos, drums, voices, whatever you want to make melody with. So I'm going to keep working, and then hopefully I will be done with this in short order with all these background pages, and then we will definitely in the next video I'll be working on tags. And I really hope I'm not boring you to death by being too slow. It's not my intention, but I also don't want to leave you in the dark too much along the way about how the process is going. So my takeaway is that this is definitely a very much slower version of a journal. So if you plan to do one, just plan to take your time and really enjoy it. And I am enjoying it. I will definitely do another one, but it's got a lot more, it's definitely got a lot more background work to it. The inking of the pages and the trimming down of all these papers to cover the pages, which you wouldn't normally do in a journal. These papers would be the pages, and then you'd move on from there. So interesting to compare the two processes. All right, guys, that is it for today. And until next time, I want you to be inspired, do something creative, and before you click away, if I haven't already, you haven't lost me yet, take a minute to give me a thumbs up, like the video, and check out what I have to show you on the next screen. And I will talk to you in the next video because you are awesome. And I appreciate each and every one of you. All right, thanks. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.